Welcome to a journey into the inexplicable. Today, we explore cases where the truth remains stubbornly hidden, leaving behind only questions, strange clues, and a lingering sense of unease. These are the mysteries that defy explanation, proving that sometimes reality is stranger and far more terrifying than fiction. A trace from a cruise ship just off the coast of Curacao. One minute she was and her brother dressed up on cruise ship. Image number 2, Amy dancing in the ship's nightclub. On the night of March 23rd, Amy was last seen dancing in the ship's nightclub with members of the ship's band. She seemed relaxed and happy, but in just a few hours, everything would change. Image number 3, the ship Amy was traveling on. In the years that followed, multiple people reported sightings of a woman who looked like Amy on beaches, in brothels, and even crying for help. The FBI later released these age-progressed photos of Amy, imagining what she might look like today, decades after her disappearance. Image number 5, Amy with her family on the ship. This photo, taken just before her disappearance, shows the Bradley family smiling, unaware that their lives were about to change forever. Image number 6, Porto Mari Beach, Curacao. One witness, David Carmichael, believes he saw Amy walking on this very beach, Porto Mari, Curacao, with 2 men shortly after her disappearance. Could she have been trafficked? Was she trying to escape? Over 20 years later, the mystery remains unsolved. No trace, no justice, just hope that someday someone might finally come forward with the truth. Number 2, the unfound victim. Our next mystery takes us to Fort Wayne, Indiana, and the perplexing disappearance of Kevin Nguyen. On December 9, 2018, 25-year-old Kevin vanished in the early hours after an altercation at the Brass Rail Bar on Broadway, leading to him being kicked out. His family has not seen or heard from him since. A desperate search effort quickly mobilized. That following Sunday, nearly 150 volunteers and family members scoured Lakeside Park and the banks of the St. Joseph and St. Mary's rivers, but found no trace of Kevin. A crucial yet ominous clue emerged the following Thursday. Kevin's broken glasses were discovered in the parking lot of the bar. His family emphasized that Kevin's vision was severely impaired without his glasses, making it highly unlikely he could navigate the city streets alone. The broken glasses left behind were a deeply disturbing sign. Management at the Brass Rail informed the family that Kevin had entered the bar 4 times that night. Surveillance footage from a nearby Arby's restaurant showed Kevin walking alone at 1:40 a.m. and again at 2:45 a.m. The bar also provided their surveillance video to detectives. Despite extensive searches and forensic efforts, Kevin has not been found. While many believe he might have broken his glasses, stumbled into one of the nearby rivers, and drowned, this theory is challenged by the fact that his body was never recovered during the multiple river searches, nor has it ever washed up anywhere. 2 long years have passed with no word, and while the family clings to hope, the exact fate of Kevin Nguyen remains chillingly unknown. Our third mystery centers on the perplexing disappearance of Brian Schaefer, an Ohio State student who, in 2006, walked into a bar and was never seen walking out. Brian was out with 2 friends at the Ugly Tuna Saloona, a bar equipped with both a main front entrance and a back entrance for staff and entertainment, both monitored by cameras. Around 10 p.m. that night, Brian called his girlfriend, simply to tell her he loved her. Later, security footage showed Brian entering the bar, then stepping outside briefly to chat with two girls before re-entering. Minutes before the bar's closing, as friends were preparing to leave, Brian told them he was going to speak to the band. He walked away from his friends, out of their sight. He was never seen by them again. This wasn't a large venue, and surprisingly, the band members later stated they had no recollection of speaking with Brian. More bafflingly, despite cameras covering both entrances, no footage ever captured Brian exiting the bar. This led to a compelling yet eerie theory: he never left. The strangeness continued. Brian's girlfriend called his cell phone daily for weeks, always getting voicemail. Then one night, the phone actually rang 3 times before going to voicemail, an unexplained anomaly. Years later, an FBI agent renowned for his facial recognition expertise, who had previously worked on Brian's case, was at an Ohio State football game. He spotted someone in the crowd who bore an uncanny resemblance to Brian. The agent approached the individual only to discover it was Brian's brother, proving the agent's remarkable skill, but adding another layer of despair to the case. To this day, no one truly knows what happened to Brian Schaefer, how he left the bar if he did, or if he ever left at all. Our fourth unsolved case focuses on Jack Wheeler, a man who held a remarkable number of important positions throughout his life. Chairman for the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund, a senior planner for Amtrak, and an official for the Securities and Exchange Commission, among others. His contributions to his community made his disappearance and subsequent death all the more shocking. He disappeared on December 28, 2010, after exiting an Amtrak train near Wilmington, Delaware. What followed was a series of bizarre and unsettling sightings. On December 30th, he was seen at 10th and Orange Street in Wilmington. Then on December 31st, his body was discovered by a landfill worker as it fell onto a trash heap at the Cherry Island landfill. His death was later officially ruled a homicide, specifically due to assault and blunt force trauma. Investigators determined that all the stops made by the garbage truck that day involved large commercial disposal bins in Newark, just a few miles from his home. Prior to his death, Jack was cited several times displaying increasingly erratic behavior. On December 29th, he was captured on CCTV at the Newcastle County Courthouse parking garage. He appeared disoriented, wearing only one shoe, and attempted to enter the garage on foot, claiming he needed to warm up before paying the parking fee. He told the attendant his briefcase had been stolen and insisted he wasn't intoxicated, though the attendant clearly didn't believe him. It was later confirmed that his car was in a completely different garage. This was the last recorded CCTV footage of him. Later that same day, he approached a pharmacist in Newcastle, asking for a ride to Wilmington and reportedly looking very upset. The pharmacist offered to call him a cab, but he simply left the store. On December 30th, he was seen wandering around various office buildings, visibly distressed, yet he repeatedly refused any offers of help. The combination of strange sightings, his disoriented state, and the shocking discovery of his body in a landfill leaves Jack Wheeler's death an enduring and deeply unsettling mystery. Our final mystery brings us to Germany in 2006, the year of the Football World Cup. Frauke Liebs disappeared on June 20th from the town of Paderborn. Her body was tragically found almost 4 months later on October 6, 2006. The circumstances surrounding her disappearance are shrouded in mystery, especially given the perplexing phone calls she made to her friends between the time she vanished and her death. On the night she disappeared, Frauke met with friends at the Auld Triangle Irish pub in downtown Paderborn to watch some of.
However, no one saw her after she left the pub, and her flatmate, Chris, later claimed that Frauke never arrived back at their apartment. The most chilling aspect of this case are the 5 short, evasive phone calls Frauke made to her roommate over the next few days, always during the evening hours, with little information about her situation. In the first call, she hinted she would return soon, but answered further questions vaguely or mysteriously. The last phone call was received on the evening of June 27th, with Frauke's sister present. Her sister directly asked Frauke if she was being held against her will. Frauke supposedly said yes, but then immediately and in a louder tone corrected herself by saying no. After that, contact with Frauke was lost. According to the police, during these phone calls, Frauke's cell phone was traced to various industrial zones of Paderborn. Police also theorized that the calls were placed from within a car that was driven to these different areas. Despite the discovery of her body and these unusual phone interactions, the case of Frauke Liebs remains unsolved, leaving investigators and her family with unanswered questions about her final days.